The fake Fender custom shop detectives. Whew. God bless thee. Let's see if we can help you out there a little bit. It's me, Baxter.
And me, Jonathan.
So we're talking about guitar detectives, custom shop detectives, Gibson, Fender, PRS, Martin. We've seen them all. They come through, but now there's a rash though of armchair experts that are giving all sorts of advice. Be very careful. Sometimes you gotta be careful with the gift horse type quotes and all, but some of the stuff's a little haywire. We watched a few recently online, and we were going through all the comments, and I was like, oh.
I almost commented on one the other day.
I almost did too.
And I even typed, well, I did it on my phone, but I was like, nah. It was, I just couldn't bring myself for the onslaught, to have the onslaught of comments that I knew would follow. Did you know?
Well, and it's awesome. Like, first, before we get into it, like a lot, like it's important for everyone to help each other out in this. Yes. Like, we love that happens, and it's really cool that there's a vibe. There's a group of people, and they're always looking out for other folks getting taken advantage of. But sometimes it goes the other way.
Well, like, you know, even on the crazy one I saw the other day, the thread, it was in a Facebook group. There's really helpful people. There's people who are like, I think this, maybe check this, maybe call Fender. I think the guy had called Fender. But then there are the people who it's almost like condescending. Like they want to cast doubt on this person's custom shop
immediately. Because it's
well,
fun.
It's not even. It's like,
it's fun,
man, you got screwed off. I've never seen this on a blah 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 blah. And the things people were saying they never seen, I see every day.
Right. So let's get into that a little bit. We'll start. And like first off, too, like we're not complete experts on this either. Like we can get got as well. But here's the difference, though. We have seen thousands of these guitars.
Yes.
And we have this thing called the telephone, where we don't just call it like the Fender switchboard. We have guys directly, in the historical department, so like they know the guitars. We have guys at the custom shop. We have guys in production that we can just call up and be like, hey, can you do a little research on this for us too from our end?
Well, those are the ones I think, like, I think anything modern you and I would see, custom shop wise.
I'd pick up a phone.
We would,
or an email.
We'd probably know, but like stuff from, maybe early 2000s or something, or like the 90s. They did some wacky things in some cases. So
well, let's get into some of the wacky things too, because that's the stuff we were looking in the comments. That's it's fun. So like one of the first ones is like, check the watermark. Like this logo's not right. It would never be on a guitar like this. That's the telltale sign that that's a fake. So let's dispel the watermark things. Yes, you can tell on some vintage guitars within the custom shop. You can request a watermark of any period.
You're talking about the logo on the headstock,
yes.
Like the water slide decal.
Yeah, the decal. You can request a decal of any type. You can have it put anywhere you want to. Like you can have it put upside down. You can have it put right side up. You can have one from the 50s put on a late 60s piece. You can have a custom one put on a non-custom one. The things you can't have done is put an Esquire on a non-limited edition Esquire run, because they're still the broadcaster. Broadcaster. Sorry, I made a mistake there.
You can put Esquire on Esquire,
yes,
right?
Esquire, broadcaster.
Yeah, exactly.
There was only a limited run of broadcasters, and they have to get legal rights from the sort of original trademark owner of Gretsch, which is not part of the Gretsch Guitar Company. It's part of the Gretsch Drum Company, which has been separated years ago.
Obviously, they hate all guitarists.
I know, it's a strange thing. I think it's sort of silly. So that's one of them. The truss rod hole, like that's one that I think is sort of funny too. You'll see like
it's plugged. Oh my God. No. I even saw one. They were like, "There's no truss rod in this guitar," and then the people were like, "Oh, it's down at the it's at the heel, like vintage." And like, "Oh, that's crazy. That the custom shop would never do that."
The custom shop 98% does that. Most are at the heel, because that's just historically how they do it. Most of their builds are historical builds.
Well, one really nice, sweet guy tried to like very nicely, non-condescendingly say, "Oh, that's that's a vintage spec. That's how they are." No good deed goes unpunished.
Did he get wrecked?
Well, people are just crazy. They're just crazy.
But it's also fun to pile on. Like it was telling me. I think all of us were like, let's help. No, we gotta like. And so, in full disclosure as well, like we're actually looking into these guitars that we saw on the internet, and we're gonna find out if they're fake or not. Is it cake?
If I saw one that was like clearly like if I didn't think the original poster was getting it figured out, and it was really either absolutely real and people had him convinced otherwise, or opposite, like, okay, this is a fake and you're getting taken advantage of. Especially if he's like asking about buying it, right?
Right.
Then I would, yes, I would, but I may message the person.
Yes.
Right. I might not comment on the thread.
Another thing we see quite a bit on the comments too is I've never seen X type of bridge or X type of
neck plate
on this type of guitar. That's a tricky one too, because again, if it's not a historical build, or even if it is, like we do lots of historical builds. Like we'll do like a 1959 Strat, but this guy wants like a bird's eye maple back and neck, and he might want a Guatemalan rosewood fretboard. That was never done.
Maybe he wants a 59 Strat with a big headstock.
He might want a Bigsby on his telly, like that was never done, and that sort of like. It's just, that's the thing of the custom shop. We have a lot of pieces that are really odd and one-off. So again, like,
well, and I think
tricky.
I still think we've got some videos out there about these things. So if you have questions, reach out to us or go watch those old videos. But there, I've seen some comments where like someone said, for example, if you're building a 50s guitar and then you add 60s things to it, that's where like the big up charges come. Not necessarily true. You know what I mean? So I think there's still a lot of misinformation about the process of ordering a custom shop, getting it to spec the way you want, what you can do, what you cannot do,
what makes it a master build,
what costs you a lot of money, So.
I mean, it's pretty easy breakdown there.
Yeah.
Now, there are let's not stop. There are fakes out there.
Yes.
There's rampant fakes, and the Fender Custom Shop in particular is very trying to be protective. That's why they don't sell parts. And so how some of these fakes will get out there is like people will buy Fender Custom Shops, they'll part them out, they'll put the Fender Custom Shop neck on a non-Fender Custom Shop body, vice versa sometimes, because they'll find like an off-market neck, put a Fender sticker on it. So there are those out there. I was reading that article with Joe Bonamassa recently too, where he was talking about how he spots a fake. And one of the first things, it wasn't the first thing in the article, but, and this is, we always say this too, if the deal seems too good to be true, probably is.
Yeah.
Like if they're offering you a Fender Custom Shop at $1,200, if you're getting a Murphy Lab at $1,200, it's probably not real.
Well, I mean, and we see a ton of these guitars, right? And they always say, you hear people talk about with counterfeit money, the way they train those guys apparently is not learning the counterfeit. It's really, really learning the actual legit money, right? So, sometimes I see them and something just seems off to me. There's sometimes I can't even quite put my finger.
We hang on to that gold top Les Paul just because it's funny, because it looks.
We got the fake custom shop too. Do you know that? It's the John Mayer.
The black one, and that's a good guitar.
It's actually a great
really
guitar.
Good. The Gibson's not so good. It's okay.
No.
But there's ways you can't really tell those are fake until you start taking them apart. Honestly.
Well, I was gonna say with the custom shops, man, take the neck off. Which you can do, I promise everything's going to be fine and it goes right back together. And you can see all the stuff written in there, and then take the pick guard off, because especially if it's aged at all, it'll have that relic stamp from the custom shop.
It's literally cut in there. It's not just like a physical stamp. It's another word that gets floated around a lot when forgeries are in the mix is factory seconds. No, it is sometimes that will be a faker will say that sometimes too.
Right.
Oh no, this is a factory second. Or with Les Pauls in general, they're like, hey, the top, they're selling something at really an affordable price, and it's got the most flame, crazy top you've ever seen. It's just.
I mean,
be a little
most
careful.
Of the time, you're just like, oh yeah, this isn't right. The thing you see, I don't think you see this as much with the custom shop or with Fender, but with Gibson, you see people talk about employee guitars a lot. Oh, Gibson never did that. Oh, that's because an employee made it. You know what I mean? And those exist. That's a thing, but you have to be pretty.
Well, just to muddy up the waters further, Gibson has that mod shop just where they're getting sort of refurb guitars sometimes, stamping them, sort of. Some of them don't have that. They do have a stamp, but I've seen a few where it's questionable, and it's trickier. But take them apart if you need to, or take them to a local shop, have them look at it.
I was gonna say, call a shop, call Fender. Fender's pretty helpful.
The Gibson was funny because you take the truss rod cover off and you look in there, and it's like a dachshund routed that out. It's so bad looking. It's huge.
With hand tools, chisel on a hammer.
I remember once, this was years ago, I was talking to a person in the store about this the other day. Someone brought in a D41 they just bought for $1,500. Now, that was my first red flag. This was years back. Gosh, probably 7 years ago. And I was like, oh, how much do you pay for it? He's like, $1,500. I'm like, okay. Then I looked at it for a bit. I almost knew immediately, like, just from that. And then, but looking into it, you could tell it wasn't a Martin D41.
Was it a good guitar then?
It was okay.
Was it a $1,500 guitar?
I mean, maybe. But the problem is, like, I think he was so proud of it being like, I got, like,
right.
in your pride and your ego gets mixed up within it. Like, I don't want to be the guy that has to tell you it's like not real. I don't enjoy that.
I hate
don't
it.
enjoy it one bit at all. And that's the funny part where we see it online. I feel like some people are taking a little bit of pleasure, but some people
like
are honestly
bringing
trying to
someone
help.
down a peg or something. You know, I mean, I don't
like
enjoy
that. I think most people are trying to help, but then sometimes you just got to be careful because it'd be it'd be like me trying to help on like an auto repair like thing. Like I've changed one set of tires. I mean, changed. I watched people change tires. Don't ask me how to change a tire really well. I've seen it happen a lot, and I think I got the idea of it, but I wouldn't be the guy you go to for it. I don't know. It's just
that's why we call them Derek and Sean.
Well, yeah, or Dylan.
They know things, or Dylan.
But put those two together, and what do you get? A disaster. But no. But what I would do, no. But we did say again, like we're not the end-all experts. We're 100% not. Like I know George Gruen will forget more than I will ever know.
Yes.
But what I do have the ability is I don't have an ego, and I'll pick up the phone and call my contacts when it's something I'm in question.
Figure it out. Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's what I do. Like I'm like, I don't know this for sure, but something seems fishy, or you think it seems fishy. Let's find out.
True.
And I've helped customers with this on the phone via the internet before that are buying very expensive guitars, and it usually works out well. And I don't think they're forgeries. And we usually help them get to that resolution too. I think that's all. That's all I got.
I think that's it.
You got anything else going on?
Nope. Be nice. Be nice on the internet.
I think The Beekeeper came out.
The Beekeeper?
Yeah, the Jason Statham movie. We were in a discussion in the shop the other day. I think it was on Saturday or Friday. I don't think you were here because you were in Alabama. We were like, who is our favorite action star? And I think a couple of us actually said Jason Statham.
Really?
I think he might be like the coolest action star of this modern era. Like, think about it.
He's pretty darn cool.
Besides Tom Cruise, he sort of goes without saying.
Well,
like Tom Cruise is Tom.
He's different though. He's not like just an action star.
He's a god.
He's like
He's like He's like Aphrodite walks amongst
serious
us.
films.
But no, it's, The Beekeeper just came out, and it's doing great. The reviews are thumbs up. Highly recommend it.
I mean, I guess he's up there. I don't know who my answer would be.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a tricky
I do want to
question,
see
man.
The Beekeeper though.
I think it looks awesome because he just goes around and punches people. So that's the whole movies, and we just love them. I can't. My kids. I think I want my kids to see it. I just got to see it first.
Yeah.
But I'm going to watch Gran Turismo this week.
Okay.
Because my very much older parents said that they love that movie, which was really funny that my parents loved a video game-based movie. God, it's great. It makes me happy. I'm going to have them watch Monster Hunter next with Mila Jovovich. So I got about 5 minutes into Monster Hunter, and it was so bad I couldn't even watch it.
Really?
It is the effects and everything. You're like, oh, this is horrible. And Ron Perlman's in the first few minutes.
Yeah.
And whenever Ron Perlman's in a movie of that level, and I love Ron Perlman, but I know this is going to be a bad movie usually.
Fair enough.
It's because they got him with this crazy wig on, and it looks ridiculous. I'm like, oh god, and I love Ron Perlman. I do like Sons of Anarchy, Ron Perlman, one of my favorite.
Awesome.
And it wasn't Goliath. He had some other show where he played like a preacher or something. I can't remember. It was really good, and it just never. I loved it. They went away. I love that guy. I'm done. That's it. Click like, subscribe.
Hit the bell. The
Watch
real
out.
bell.
Yeah. Watch out for the. And on the side note too, we know too. There's lots of fake casino guitar accounts out there on our channel and other channels too. And there's lots of other fake channels. Like we will never ask WhatsApp. We don't even know what that is.
We'll never ask you for money.
We'll never ask for your private information. We're not giving
Yeah.
away free things on YouTube because we don't do that. And we're gonna get a call from us. When we do free things, you're gonna know about it. It's gonna be a big event.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's a problem. They usually get blocked pretty quickly.
There's still a lot out there, though.
They're
I've
out
noticed
there.
they're trolling. Derek, you got
sure.
anything else to add on that? Okay, cool. Derek was getting. He's like, yes, I hate those bastards too. He hates them.
Yeah.
That's all. Thanks, though. Thanks again for sticking with us. Happy New Year's. It's too late to say that, but whatever. Peace be with you.